All right, so the first topic for tonight is the classical education. What is a classical education? So at St. Ambrose Academy, we really pride ourselves on three things in particular that we are totally committed to and that we feel like really set us apart as a school. And those three things are the Catholic identity, that we love Jesus Christ, we believe the Catholic faith, we're unashamed of the gospel, and we're totally devoted to leading the children into that relationship with Jesus as well. The second thing is a close-knit community. We're really committed to having a strong, close-knit community of parents, families, faculty, staff, that we're all in this mission together. And the third is the classical education, and that's the piece that's probably the most foreign to the most people. What is classical education? So we thought it worth spending some time on what we mean by a classical education. And there's a whole lot that could be said about that. In a 5-minute snippet, I'll try to boil it down into just three headings, 3 points to highlight for you, which are what we do, that's classical, why we do it, and how we do it. And I'll start with why, and I might not get any further. So if we don't get to the what or the how, we'll just have to find more opportunities to keep talking about these things all throughout the year and throughout your child's whole time at St. Ambrose. So why we do what we do? Why do we educate children? There's immediately a huge difference between the goal that we have as an educational mission at St. Ambrose versus the goal that you'll see in most schools. So to take a real concrete example, you got a test coming up. Your kid's got a test coming up. And you tell your son, your daughter, hey, you better study for the test. And they say, why should I? What's the answer? So most of the educational program that we live and breathe in, the default answer is going to be, well, so that you can get a good grade. But maybe your kid pushes back like, well, why do I need a good grade? Like, so you can get into college. Why do I need to go to college? So you can get a good job. Why do I need a good job? Well, so you can make a lot of money. Like all of these kind of things, and by the way, we're in favor of kids going to college and getting jobs and so forth, but all of these things are future, distant, and external to the mission that we're actually trying to accomplish with your children every single day. To make it concrete, again, let me change the example. So how many of your kids have ever been doing math and said, when am I ever going to use this? And you maybe tried to invent some scenario where they maybe would use it, but it was a stretch and they probably could tell. So the truth is, 9 times out of 10, the answer is you're not ever going to use this. But we hesitate to say that to them because we feel the need to defend the usefulness of the education, which is, again, that's part of the modern educational program, which sees education primarily as a kind of extended job training. Most schools are just trying to prepare your kids for a job. And if you look at your education as job training, then you tend to view it as you need to master a very specific number of tasks. Just learn to do those things well and you'll succeed, you'll get ahead in life. That's not what we're trying to do. So we see education really primarily as about the development and formation of the soul of the child with all its powers. So the intellectual power of the soul, certainly. So we're trying to form the mind in the classroom. But the spiritual power of the soul as well. So we're trying to lead the children into a deeper relationship with Jesus Christ. And the moral power of the soul. We're trying to train the students in the virtues that they need to be a moral person in this world and in the sight of God as well. And that's a goal that we can accomplish every single day. So it's not some distant future goal, right? Why should I do this? Because it will make you a better person right now to overcome the difficulty and master this task. Just you can have that success now, right? And then, so what's the answer, by the way, to the math question? So why do we study math? Why do you have to learn all those things that you're never going to use? The classical education views the whole educational program as a kind of mental gymnasium. So I was talking to to a bunch of the freshman boys today about this, actually. So this example worked for them. But you know, when you're working out in the gym and you're doing all these bicep curls, do you ever stop and ask yourself, when am I ever going to need to do this 60 times in a row? Never, never. Nobody ever has to do that, I don't think. One of them said carrying groceries for mom. So maybe. Yeah, but with our physical bodies, we all understand really easily and immediately that the point of exercise is to strengthen your body so that you can have a healthy body, a strong body, and having that healthy, strong body just allows you to do everything, right? You don't do the bicep curls so that you can lift groceries, really. It's so that you can be strong and healthy and equipped to do everything. So mathematics, especially, it's the mental gymnasium. It's the gymnasium of the mind. Why do you do these challenging math exercises? To develop the mental agility and strength to be able to solve difficult problems. That's why. When are you going to need to use that? Every day. Every day, right? The ability to wrestle with a difficult problem in the abstract world of ideas through multiple steps, where every step matters and even the smallest error can throw you off. To train yourself mentally to overcome that kind of challenge, that sets you up for success everywhere, right? So the education that we're trying to impart to your kids is not, it's not utilitarian, it's not future goal oriented. Now, if you develop a powerful intellect, college is going to be fine. You're going to do fine professionally, right? Those things all come, but they're secondary because what we're really trying to do is just form the child. I'm already over 5 minutes, so we'll have to talk about what we do in order to accomplish that and how to do it later, but I promise that Angela will find me an opportunity.